Hi there. Welcome to the Goal Getter Podcast. We are so glad that you are here. I'm Lindsay, the dreamer and visionary of the business.
And I'm Jordan, the brains of the business, meaning I do all the back end stuff or anything that Lindsay doesn't like doing.
We're a husband and wife duo who took a leap of faith several years ago to embark on this permanent makeup business journey together.
We both worked unsuccessful and unfulfilling jobs before, and now we've turned our business into a thriving six-figure business.
They say you're meant to lead those who were once in your shoes, so that's what we're doing, navigating kids, homeschooling, business, and life together.
But this podcast is about more than just business and permanent makeup. It's about personal growth. We're here to help you conquer your goals, both in your business and in life.
And remember, growth begins when you get outside of your comfort zone.
Does all that sound good? Awesome. Let's dive on in. We are super excited, guys, tonight. If you do not know the guest that we are having on, we met her for the first time at Glam this past year
in Florida.
Yeah. Super bubbly, super
fun,
high
energy. Hey, Tina.
You never know what
you never know what she's gonna say.
Topic we're gonna go on or
love.
anything, which is awesome.
Love.
So yeah.
Tonight we're talking just about networking, how to make yourself stand out above everybody else, connections, conferences, and we're going to kind of do a little bit of a deep dive. This particular person, her name is Victoria Glam, is her Instagram, and she's traveled so much, and so she is like the queen of this topic, and so I'm super excited to pick her brain. And because we absolutely love networking, we love conferences, and we love meeting people and getting to see people in person. There's just nothing better. So we were kind of just talking about how we met at Wulak, which was so fun. The moment that I started seeing you dancing while getting a little wild, it was like the moment that I'm like, yes, I love this girl.
People.
This is so fun. A mom, she's a mom. Do you have three as well?
No, I have two.
Two.
And it just feels like so many more. Hey, Kendra.
But I think that's why like a lot of us like mom entrepreneurs get along so well, is because we just understand that life is just constant chaos, and
That's the way it is.
it's just the way it is. It's just the way it goes. So
It is.
the way
You
it
never
goes.
know who's going to show up while you're on a live.
Oh,
You
yeah.
never know if the internet's going to work. Listen, the internet went out last night, and my 4-year-old comes grab me at 11 p.m. He was like, Mom, the TV's not on. I was like, it's 11 o'clock. You're 4. Go to bed. I want to go to bed. He was like, well, I can't. There's no TV on.
Yeah, we just had a kid crying, and kid that was out of bed like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get it. We totally get it. Okay, so we went back and forth on like the topics that we were going to talk about tonight, because there's just so many good things to talk about, and I feel like you were so easy to talk to about everything, which is so fun. And so yeah, you kind of landed on networking, and I'm like, I love that. That's so perfect. So tell us a little bit about what you've been doing this past year, because you've been traveling like nuts in 2023. So tell us a little bit about what you've been doing and what your goals are and all the things.
Sure. Okay. So for those of you who I haven't met yet, it's really nice to meet you. My name is Victoria Glam, if you only know me from Instagram. I own a couple different companies. So I own the Microblading Institute, where I actually do services, and then I teach services. And then I own this other company called Brow Sister, which is a PMU product company. So, and then I work for VIPMU Mentor, where I teach people how to like build their business and scale and work on their branding and figure out, how to hire and fire and all the good stuff, right? But Brow Sister specifically is the business that I keep traveling for, because I had a partner in this business when I first started. And it's not that he's a bad person or that I dislike him. That's not, just some people are not meant to be partners. So if you're not lockstep, the business is always going to be like this, one step forward, one step back. So I wound up buying him out in February, and I now own 100% of my company.
Awesome.
Thank you. And because of that, and because I'm in the industry and understand the industry, it was really easy for me to start making collaborations and, putting my product in the right people's hands and growing the business.
Right.
And I very quickly realized that in a post-COVID world, business is done in person.
Yep.
So I could email as many people as I want. I could DM as many people as I want. That is not going to make them understand how incredible my product is. So I started going on the conference circuit. And when I'm there in person, people might be a little skeptical, but they want to come talk to me because I'm branded very well. I'm very pink. I'm very fun to be around. Thanks. But I will put some of my numbing on their finger and make them put it here while we're talking. And before we're done talking, they tell me, oh my God, it's something I'm so numb. And I can't get that through a DM.
Yeah.
So my husband, you guys met my husband.
Yeah.
That's actually the only conference he's been to with me.
Oh, cool.
But I told him, listen, we're going to bet the house on this product and on this brand. And to do that, I have to be on the conference circuit. So give me 2 solid years. I'm going to go to every conference I can afford to throw money at.
Yeah.
If you didn't know this, conferences are pay to play. You pay to be there.
Yep.
And I am going to sponsor as many events as I possibly can and be there as a vendor and get my product in the hands of people who could actually use it. And I don't just mean like an artist here or there. I mean people like you who train people. I want to be in your kit. People who go on the training circuit. So like Jasmine goes here and she trains there and she trains here. I want to spread that as much as possible. You cannot do it if you're not networking.
Yeah.
No, an island is the most expensive place on the planet to live because you got to pay to get it to you and you got to pay to give it to other people.
Yep.
I'd much rather be the one traveling and saying, try this. Hi, nice to meet you. Oh my God, you want to do a collaboration? You guys want to do a live with me? You want to share audiences? You want to try my product? It's the easiest thing to do. And you guys were doing this really well at Woolop. I felt like I was introduced to you 3 different times by 3 people who were like, you have to meet my friends. You have to meet them. And I was like, I met them and I like them.
Yeah, that's like almost the exact reasons why we love going to conferences, is just the networking. Like you can only say so much in a DM, or you can only say so much through like a video call or whatever, but like when you're in person, you're actually able to dive like a layer deeper and actually get to know the person and really like understand like their why a whole lot more.
Yeah, and it was funny because at Woolop, if you're going to Woolop, you're competing, you're paying to compete, and we were like, literally everyone there was like, are you competing? And we're like, no.
We're like, what are you doing
here? And we're like,
we're just networking, here to talk and like
Networking,
like talk to people and like meet the event, people who put the event on, and there's nothing like it. And this, it's like we always go to conferences, but like the last 2 years we've been trying to really hit conferences pretty hard, and we have more speaking invitations than we ever did before. And we were just talking about this on the protein meeting today, at the Tina Davis protein meeting, and Tina's always like, you're not going to get anywhere if you're sitting on the couch. Like, get outside of your comfort zone and go talk to people. And that's really hard to do. But it's so worth it. Like when you make connections with people, then opportunities start popping up like left and right. So it's been really cool that you've been doing that. How has that been going for family and working, and has everything been, you feel like has been balancing? Or that's us too.
I think no matter what your job is, if you are a parent and you are an entrepreneur, or if you are a parent who has to travel for work, you're always going to feel the push and pull. I mean, let's face it, even people who are chained to a desk 9 to 5 feel the guilt of sometimes I'm with the kids and I'm neglecting the business or the job, right? Sometimes I'm with the job and I'm missing out on things with the kids. You and I are in the unique position of being in control of the job. So we can kind of tailor things around our parenting. I can say, like tomorrow, we have a rare snow day in Louisiana. There's no school. So I just let my clients know tomorrow, hey, I'm going to have to move you. Most people can't do that. So I have fewer days where I'm like, am I being the best mom I could be? I have fewer of those, but you still get them, especially when you're traveling. So I don't just travel once a year for my job. I travel every couple months for a week or 2. Now, in May, I'm doing biotech. Are you guys going?
I saw your story. Oh,
we're not going.
Doesn't it?
We're not going.
It looks like such an amazing time. Well, Francesca invited me. So I will not miss out. I can't wait to go. But not only am I going to be there pushing Brow Sister and furthering the brand, making connections, hopefully picking up a distributor in Europe, in Eastern Europe or Western Europe.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go ahead and, don't we all do this? I'm going to piggyback a vacation out of it. So it's a write-off to get there. It's a write-off to be there. The girls and I are going to Positano for the weekend. So we'll just fly south and we'll be on the Italian coast. My mom usually takes the kids when I have to travel, and she and my dad were like, well, we want to go. So I need to get my kids some passports because my babysitters are bringing the babies.
Add to the list.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Fuck it. Let's just go bankrupt. Let's take everybody. I'll bring everybody. Who needs money? Not me. If you're in business for the money, you're in it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, but no, we totally, like, just about every, especially every conference, but just about, we try literally every single vacation at all. We're like, okay, hey, how can we, like, do we need to visit a spa? Do we need to visit something? Like, what can we do to write more of this trip off so we're not just traveling to travel, basically?
Yeah. We're going to a conference in May in Arizona, and we're going to celebrate our 10 years right after the trip.
Yeah,
How exciting.
and just stay a little longer. So, yeah.
Mine's well, right?
Years together or 10 years married?
10 years married.
Oh, so you guys got married in 14?
Yep.
Yeah. I have to do
Not her looking to you to confirm.
Look at him. He's better at dates than I am.
We're 10 years next year.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's awesome.
We got married in
Super
15.
Okay,
Awesome.
cool. So how have you seen your brand grow by going to all these conferences? What have you seen?
Oh my God, beyond. I have people who want to carry me in their stores. I have people who message me and say, how can I get you in my training kits? And it was crickets before, it was crickets. It was just the same, like 5 to 10 people who were always ordering for their studios or for their training kits, but it wasn't, can I carry you in my store? Can I add you to my Amazon store? Can I, what's your wholesale? There's not a week that goes by that someone random that I have never met in person doesn't say, hey, how do you sell wholesale? Like that, I couldn't pay for that before because if I've never met you, if I've never spoken to you, you didn't have any exposure to the brand. Now it's random people. And I'm starting to see it on Facebook groups when people say, like when Sustain went out of business, Jones and Sustain are almost the same thing. So people were saying, well, what are we going to do? That was my favorite. What are we going to do? And people that I never heard of were saying, oh, you have to try pink gel. Pink gel and Sustain are the same thing. Just one's pink. And I love it. You're going to love it. And the first couple of times that I saw that, I didn't even see it organically. Someone else saw it because it'd be in groups that I'm not in, screenshot it and send it to me. And when I tell you I was flying high, I was like, yeah, people know my shit. That's so cool.
Yeah. The thing is when you work so hard for something, you set your family kind of aside to go pursue like literally the other half of you as an entrepreneur, and you start to see the fruits of it. There's literally like nothing better than that. Like, for us being invited to speak on some stages this year, we're like, finally, like this is what you work for as an entrepreneur, as a permanent makeup artist, as a trainer, as an academy owner. You work to be on stage, to be in front of people, to serve the community, to serve the permanent makeup community, to make it better, to make it safer. And so, congratulations, Steve. That's
awesome.
Thank you.
That's so amazing.
Just to piggyback off of that, like it also, you can't be teaching the thing if you don't do the thing. So if you want to be an educator, you need to be taking clients. If you want to be someone who teaches people how to brand themselves, how to network, how to grow their business, you should be doing the thing. So I don't trust anybody who says, oh yeah, I'll teach you how to do that. And like, where's your store? Where's your happy, satisfied clients? Where are they at? So if I'm not taking time out to speak on stage, how dare I teach anyone else how to network or brand themselves or grow their business? Like if I'm not out there doing the thing, it's kind of like it feels snake oil salesman-y to me. So you got to sharpen the saw, if you will. You got to keep getting on that stage. So it was a natural evolution for me to start speaking at conferences. It just happened to work hand in hand with the product. Thank God for that.
So just for everybody watching, list all your products. I know you do numbing gels, everything, just so everybody knows and like where they can find it at, essentially.
And BPS Sustain was our favorite as well. So
so we're your new favorite because we're
on the market.
We Okay, so Browse Sister is an actual e-commerce store, browsesister.com, and you can buy a lot of stuff there. You can buy a lot of Shay's stuff there. You can buy some of Taryn's stuff there. You can buy some lash products there. But Browse Sister, the brand itself, actually manufactures 3 different types of numbing products or comfort products. So one is pink gel secondary anesthetic, which is essentially Sustained but pink. One is pink cream, which is a primary numbing. So it's 4% lidocaine, and you let it sit about 10 minutes. That's the one when people put it on their lip, they're like, we can't feel anything. It works so fast because it's got the prilocaine in it.
Okay.
And then the third one is more of like a soothing product. I have something called Pretty Numb, which is a foaming wash that you use at the end. So when your client is super tired of you rubbing them as you wipe throughout the procedure, you put a little foaming wash on, wash everything away, and wipe once. Everything's off the skin, and they're comforted, so you can take some really good pictures.
Cool. So it kind of helps soothe the skin, take the redness away, things like that.
Awesome.
Okay.
I
That's
like
cool.
that comfort as opposed to like the numbing. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It's a good.
I like that too.
There's
a good way to put it.
semantics around the anesthetic community that you got to kind of dance the line with different things, but it's really not meant to be a numbing product, even though it's called Pretty Numb. It's not meant to be like, oh, you don't need Sustain anymore because you have Pretty. It's not meant to do that. You shouldn't be like washing your client over and over again.
Yeah.
It's like a rinse at the end.
Yeah.
It's like a final rinse.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, so anybody who's listening here that's brand new to the industry or has even been in the industry for a while, because we're very much rerun the same way, where if we're training people, we're training our students, we're also going to continue our education too. It doesn't matter how far along we are, it doesn't matter how high up or how low or whatever, we always want to be learning, because there's always new things coming out. There's new techniques. There's better artists always learning and evolving and getting better. Yeah. So what would be your advice to someone? Because we hear this a lot with our students, and I know the answer that we give them, but we hear a lot, I can't afford it, or I can't afford to take time off, or I don't have enough money. But what people don't realize is the opportunities that stem from going to conferences. So what do you tell your students or people who are like, I can't afford to go to a conference?
If people tell me, and by the way, I have my own conference. I have one in New Orleans called the Christmas Conference, and New Orleans is just the most beautiful city for Christmas. It's the most beautiful city. And we really zhuzh it up with Bourbon Street and all the rest. It's such a fun time, and it's a really good networking event. And we take donations for Toys for Tots at that one. So I just have to plug that real quick. But for people who tell me anytime for any training, whether it's networking events or actually taking another class or whatever, or coaching or whatever it is, they say, I can't afford it. I didn't come up to you on the street randomly and say, you should do this thing. If I'm telling you this class is available, this conference is one you should attend, it's because you told me that you have a problem in your business. I don't know how to market myself. I don't have enough clients. I don't know anyone else in the industry. I don't even know who some of these people are, meaning like, the Jasmines and the Carlas and all the rest. By the way, I got home from Miami yesterday. I was at Carla's. I am always training. So when people tell me I can't afford it,
what's the priority?
one of the things people really appreciate about me as a business coach is that I'm always honest, even if it's going to hurt your feelings.
That's what we love.
And the truth of the matter is, maybe you can't afford to be in business.
Yeah.
Maybe you can't. Business is a risk. If you want a really safe job, then go get hired somewhere. But if you want to own your own business and take a risk, then you have to invest into your business. And if you're not getting enough clients, then there's something that you're not pouring into, whether that's the business side of things, like understanding how to market yourself or brand your business. Maybe nobody knows who you are and you need to pour into that. Or maybe it's your skill set. If your brows suck, if your lips suck, if it takes you 3 hours to map an eyebrow, take another class, babe. You can't afford not to. You can't afford not to. Every client you get is a client who's telling people, don't go there. I went there. It was a nightmare. And that's the worst thing that can happen to you. So if you have to, scrape together $1,700 for an additional one-on-one with somebody, it's so worth it, because it could change your life. By the way, my nano has flown. Like, my nano skills has flown through the roof, and I trained with 3 masters at nano, and I still didn't feel like it was something that I should be showing everywhere, doing all the time. I was at Woolop and I asked Miley 3 questions and watched her, and I'm amazing at nano. And I I didn't waste, but I spent thousands trying to figure it out elsewhere. when I went there on a work trip and asked a couple questions to someone who actually has a style that I admire, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. I got it.
Yep.
You can't afford not
Right.
to.
Well, that's what's cool about the woolops, because the woolops are very European style. So if you guys have never been to a European style event, the competitions, even the speaking is in I don't even know how you describe it. It's in an arena type of, is that
like a convention, like convention style.
Yeah. You literally can be like this close watching them doing the technique, and there's nothing better than that for a lot of people, because most people are visual, and the way that people need to learn is they need to hear it and then see it. So when they're seeing it, like you said, you maybe spent $10,000 on 3 different classes when you could have just went to one and watched her, and you're like, gosh darn,
I only know Mai from conferences. I met her in Prague at a different conference. I only know her from conferences. Her social media has limited our reach so much over the last 2 years that even though she's world famous, her content never reached me. So I didn't even know that I was missing out on an educator who was my vibe with my style, you know? But I went to one conference and she was like, well, I've heard of you. It's really nice to meet you. She introduced herself and oh, it's so nice to meet you, you know? And I watched what she did at that competition. I was like, I want to get that good. And then when I saw her again at Woolop, I was like, I have follow-ups. I have 3 questions for you. She answered them and I was like, poof, I know science, you know? Like I just knew it right away.
Well, what's great is when you get to go to conferences and networking events, you get to talk to them face to face.
Yeah.
When you're trying to message them on social media and you're asking them a really important question, you're like, I have to know the answer to this. They might not even see it. They might not see it ever. They might not see it for several months or several weeks. So when you go to networking events, you get to like boots on the ground, find who you want to ask a question to, ask them, and they're going to answer it, which is awesome.
Yeah, the industry's totally changed from that side, which is awesome now too, where I feel like probably in the last few years where like it was almost like gatekeep kind of thing of like the big names were like, hey, you know, I'm not sharing anything. And then now I feel like even going into conferences, you can have those more like intimate conversations with people that have all that information, and they will happily just be like, oh yeah, hey, like do this, or like, hey, have you tried that? Like, and it helps you tremendously. So in a way, like we like to think of like conferences essentially like just going to a training. Where I could like handpick essentially like who I want to speak to and who I want to talk to, and almost have more of like an in-depth conversation with them, as opposed to even sometimes if you go to like training and you train with somebody, sometimes you won't like, you'll get that information, but there's other people around that are also trying to learn. So sometimes you can build that relationship a little bit better when you're at the conference, as opposed to just taking a course.
And then you can say, hey, I just talked to you at so-and-so conference. I have a follow-up question. I just had this client. And then they're more likely to answer you because they just met you face to face at a conference. We've experienced that so many times, which is really cool. Yeah, we love that. So
I agree. I also think that when you're at conferences and you are watching somebody and you're learning from them, you can ask questions and auditorily hear it. So that's great for people who have to hear someone say it. And you can watch their hands. So even though you're not hands-on, it's almost like kinesthetically trying it out. You know, you're seeing an actual visual. When you're just DMing somebody, it doesn't work the same way. And the majority of learners can't just read the text and know how to do it. So if you're DMing me a question, I can't answer you that way. That's not how my brain works. I can't sit down and step by step type out what you're doing wrong or how to fix it. I have to show you. That's what makes me a good educator. So through text, I'm not as valuable. Versus meeting someone in person. And I think a lot of people are that way. You know, if there's 3 learning types and we're only sticking to one over and over again, text, or even a voice note, it's not the same. And then there are the people who say, well, I can't afford it, so I go to Facebook groups. Well, that's great. But at a conference or in a class, I can actually see what your work looks like. And I know if I care about your opinion or not. But when you're just posting an answer to me on Facebook, I don't even know what your work looks like to know whether or not I should take your response seriously. So it's almost like someone's paying me hundreds of dollars to put this on their face permanently, and I'm just gambling here. I'm just saying like, hey, anybody, literally anybody, what should I do? and whoever answers, I'm just like, solid. That seems like a bigger risk to me.
It's so hard to answer when we get students who email us pictures or messages pictures. It's like you said, it's very hard to text back or even like talk to text or an audible message what's going on, because there's so many details to the situation. What kind of skin do they have? Is it thick? Is it oily? Is it, do they have large pores? How old are they? What skin?
Did
they follow pre-care?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many variables when it comes to that. But okay, let's dive into social media, because this is something I feel like you're really good at.
Yeah.
So, and you just literally mentioned it, because social media has been such a drag the last 2 years. It's been awful. Like, our reach has been terrible. We used to get over 100 likes on all of our posts, and anybody who's watching, you can go look. We have like 10 likes or 15 likes or 30 or 40 likes. And it's literally like, everyone's like, we don't see your stuff. And I'm like, oh, I don't see your stuff. And so what do you do to stand out on social media? How do you get in front of more people? And like, for us, it's like the posts that we think are going to do really well do terrible, and the ones that we're like, let's just throw this one out there, and it does fantastic, and we're like,
okay, so you guys are spaghetti entrepreneurs on Instagram right now. You're just throwing it at the wall and like, let's see what works. Where else are you posting? You're posting on Instagram, and where?
We post on Pinterest. When we have shorts, we do YouTube. We do Google. We do LinkedIn. Whatever metrical offers, we do all that.
Basically.
Okay. And which ones are actually feeding you results?
More of Instagram
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like you're probably doing the same content or very similar content on all platforms. And actually, most platforms don't want the same content as other platforms. So let's take TikTok and Instagram, for instance. I know someone who did super, super well on Instagram in the past, and now Instagram's a little bit dead. If we're all honest with ourselves, it's a dying platform. They have over-regulated their algorithm to where it's a pain in the ass for creators. It's like another full-time job, maybe even 2 full-time jobs, because you have to actually be a messenger, and you also have to be the creator, and you have to understand metrics and algorithms. Nobody got into permanent makeup to study Instagram. Nobody's interested in that. But the things that used to work on Instagram are what people learned. So they're taking what used to work for them, and they're transferring that to TikTok, because 2 years ago, TikTok really popped off and people were doing really well on TikTok. First, the algorithm on TikTok has changed now. So it's not even what you thought was going to work. And secondly, that audience does not want what Instagram used to want. So Instagram is very performative. If you want to lip sync things, if you want to do like a cutesy video and put captions on it, please stop doing this one.
We don't do that, by the way.
Please
She's
stop
talking to other people.
That. Anyone watching, please stop. Also, if you have the word LLC in your name, take it out. It's embarrassing. Nobody cares how you pay your taxes. You could be a C Corp, an S Corp, an LLC. Where's the mystery? Just stop it. TikTok doesn't want any of that. TikTok wants to feel like a friend just sent you a DM, or like, what are you looking at?
The dog wants out.
The dog is staring at the door waiting for someone to come in. TikTok wants to feel like a FaceTime message from a friend, or like you're in your Telegram chat with your friends all day. That's what TikTok wants. So when you're posting, we're scrolling and we're actually hitting like not interested. Nobody wants that performative content on TikTok. It's a different audience. They don't want that. So if you want to succeed on other platforms, I would really study what does well on those platforms. Literally go to the search bar and type in permanent makeup artist, how to grow permanent makeup artist audience, or how to do great eyeliner, whatever it is that you're interested in, things that you would search for if you were a student. Search that and then see what the top performing stuff is. None of it is going to be what used to do well on TikTok. So figure that out and then emulate it in your own way for your own brand. So if I, as a branding and marketing coach, wanted to transfer my audience over to TikTok from Instagram, I wouldn't be going, Nobody's reading all that text. Nobody wants to see that. Instead, what I would do is I would, hey, what's up? Don't introduce yourself. They don't need that. They can see who you are. Your name is in the bottom corner. So it would be something similar to like, hey, what's up? You're trying to grow on TikTok and your content is doing nothing. Stuck in the 200 club? Don't worry about it. Here are my 3 top tips for how to grow your audience. And then I would name 3 things and I would get off the screen, because people want quick content. They just want to scroll. So that's not really how we do it on Instagram. We kind of romance people a little bit more on Instagram. It's more of a nurturing platform. TikTok is not that way. YouTube is a whole different beast. YouTube wants information. They don't even want me to say, hey, what's up? They don't want trending audio. They don't want anything that's going to date your content. They want it to be searchable long-term, even shorts. So my friend Katie Schofield is amazing at coaching you through YouTube. She will change your stats like that. So, course in the works. She should do that. I'm going to poke her. But every platform has something a little bit different. Like Pinterest, you can't just go and post what I just did. That's not interesting to people. It has to have like a cutesy cover photo, and they have to want to pin it, and it's long tail engagement, right? So you want the SEO from Pinterest. It should be pointing at your blog posts that show, here's why I do this, or here's why I stopped doing this. People want the info. Those are for like the book talk girlies, you know? They want more information. YouTube wants fast information. Pinterest wants a novel, if you'll do it. TikTok wants to feel like they're talking to their best friend, and Instagram doesn't know what the hell it wants.
True.
I could talk about this all day. It's my favorite thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's really good because I think a lot of entrepreneurs like us just get overwhelmed, and so they start trying to multi-purpose their content, and so they're just like, let's pull it all up and let's just post it to all the platforms and see what does well. And again, some of the things that you think do really well don't, and the things that you're like, let's just try this, it does really well. And so it's really hard to know what works and what doesn't work. And I don't have time to write blogs. I don't have time to do any of those things. And so Pinterest is maybe just not a platform for us.
Pinterest is a great platform for you. You just need about an hour. V, you should be a coach. Pinterest could take like an hour and you could be done for the year. So in January, what I do is I take ChatGPT and I look at my most frequently asked questions in my DM and I answer them in long form through ChatGPT. Hey, answer this in 500 words. Why blah, 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 blah should be, and then I like give my answer, right? Like expand on this. And then I copy paste it and I put it in an app I'm going to put you guys on right now called Tailwinds, Tails, wins, like the wind. And it will schedule out your Pinterest posts. So I put those 10 or 12, I guess, blog posts in my Kajabi, and I have them scheduled one a month to come out. I make cute cover photos on Canva for Pinterest, and I let Tailwinds drip them out. And it's such a good search engine that I have things I posted 2 years ago still getting me traffic. So I do it in January, and I forget about it until next January. Works.
One of my best posts ever on Pinterest was years ago, and it's got a lot.
Still doing numbers.
And it's there forever. That's why I do like Pinterest, and that's why a lot of entrepreneurs love Pinterest. But Instagram is like here and gone, and people never see it again.
It's such an underserved market, and Instagram is like a trash and dash, post and ghost platform. You put it up, and maybe it does well, but then it peters off. It only ever does this. Only ever. Most of the time, it does this. So if you're looking for something that can build over time and keep traction or keep steam, you're looking at YouTube, Pinterest, and if you want something that's like fast money, like fast attention, it's TikTok and it's Instagram.
Which is so interesting because I was listening to a podcast the other day, and the speaker was basically saying like how everything is slowly shifting from all the shorts and like quicks and everything, and this 2024 is supposedly going to be more of the year for like long form content. Like, hey, really focus on YouTube, really focus on your lives, your podcasts, and then also focus on like Pinterest and blogging and things like that.
Podcasts are blowing up. There's a reason for that, because people want to learn from you in the long form. They don't just want to see like something from you and then switch to the next thing. But we've done that in real life too. We don't care about sitcoms anymore. We don't watch 30 minutes every week of TV. We want to watch a mini series, and usually we watch a whole series in one sitting. You know, we spend like 2 or 3 days binge watching the whole story. We want the whole thing from one place. I don't know why we are that way, because actually our attention span is supposedly getting shorter, but maybe that's why people are craving it. Longer form content.
True too. Well, that's why I like podcasts, because I feel like we can like really be ourselves. Where I feel like Instagram, it's like we can't fully show we can't really show ourselves, because we don't really show our kids very much on social media anymore. And so I'm like, what do I post about? Like, because the stuff that I'm posting for our business is like doing this, and some does really well and some just really doesn't. And like our kids are the other part of us. So it's like, I think this year our focus is more on long form content, like trying to figure out Pinterest and YouTube a little bit more, because YouTube can be really daunting. So trying to get used to that and figuring that out. And I think that there's a lot to grow with YouTube because the content stays there.
Yeah, for sure. And YouTube is Google, you know?
Yep.
So that's a fast track to getting into the snack pack for your town, for your trainings or your services. But I think when it comes to like, well, what do we post? It's not really a guessing game. If you know who your ideal client is, like who you're serving with your products or services, then you know what to talk about. You just have to figure out what your messaging pillars are and stick to them. So go and rewatch my masterclass in High Stoke and you'll answer that yourselves. And if anybody else listening does not know who your ideal client is, DM me and I'll help you figure it out. I will rattle off mine because I do it all the time. So I don't sell permanent makeup training. Let's just clear the air. I own the Microblading Institute. I have 6 different locations teaching my curriculum. I do not sell permanent makeup training. My ideal client's name is Brittany. She is a millennial, so she's like early 30s, mid 30s, and she has young children just like we do. She either works a 9 to 5 and wishes she could take off and be the homeroom mom, the field trip mom, oh, you have a fever, I'll stay home with you mom, without having to ask someone for permission to parent. Hey, sorry, I got to call in sick. Like, I know I don't have any more paid time off. She doesn't want to do that anymore. Or she is a stay-at-home mom whose kids are starting to go to school and she wants something of her own to grow on the side. So I do not sell permanent makeup training. I sell women, specifically mothers, ownership of their time. And I do that through the lens of permanent makeup. Mm-hmm. I could do that through anything. I could teach people to sell crack if that's what they really wanted to do. But I choose permanent makeup because it's legal and I like it. So once you know who you're serving and what their problem is, and you know that your solution to it can solve their problem, like I know permanent makeup business could solve the problem of I want to work for myself. Mm-hmm. You know what your content should be about. So you often see me post like, today I got to take my kids skiing and I'm also going to take them to the beach and I'm taking them to Italy later. And I am always the one who's there for their swim lessons every single Monday, no matter what, no matter how cold it is. And I hate it here. I can always do it.
Yep.
I'm off tomorrow because we have a snow day in Louisiana. There's no reason for that.
It was -11 when we woke up this morning.
Oh God, I do not envy you even a little bit. I hate it here.
There's like
it's gonna be like 2 degrees
through our windows. It's so cold.
The inside of our doors are like frosted on the bottom. Crazy.
It's not
driving home and it started drizzling and I hit the windshield wiper and I guess it thinned the water out enough that it formed just a little ice on my windshield. I was like, gross, we're going home. Why? Why would you ever want that? Mortally offended.
Okay, last question. And then if anybody has questions, drop them below because we'll answer your questions. So you said you use Tailwinds to post your Pinterest. So how often are you posting on Tailwinds to post your Pinterest? You said you just did it once?
A year.
Okay. And how long did that take you to do that for the entire year? And how many posts is that?
It's 12 posts because I do like one a month, or maybe the first year in 2021, maybe I did 24. Maybe I did one every 2 weeks. And then last year I was lazy and just started this 12-month thing. Okay. But so I got the Pinterest covers from Canva as templates, and then I just shifted them to my branding and added my own pictures on there. I used ChatGPT to write the actual blog posts themselves. And then I had Kajabi, which is my hosting platform, scheduled. I just scheduled that out for like the first Monday of the month or whatever it is. And then how long did all of that take me? I was watching Gilmore Girls, and I think it was 2 to 3 episodes. So not that long.
So funny. Not that long.
Never seen Gilmore Girls, but I'm guessing it's like 2 or 3 hours, maybe somewhere in there.
About 2 or 3 hours, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how to tell time outside of television and my children's like life events. Like, that was around the time Henry was born, so I know that was 2019.
Yeah.
That's when the HBO special on what was the big Russian explosion, that plant. What was that called?
Oh. Okay, yeah. I know what you're talking
Chernobyl.
about.
That's when Chernobyl came out.
Yeah.
I watched it when I came home from the hospital with my baby, so I know what year it was. That's how I tell time now.
That's
Our kids constantly ask, specifically our oldest, Grayson, he's always like, okay, so we have basketball on Saturday. How many sleeps is that?
Oh, yeah.
And he measures everything
big
in
on
sleeps.
sleeps.
Like, how many times am I going to have to sleep before we can do the thing?
Yeah.
That's what he always wants to know.
So true. So true.
My mom started that when I first started like traveling for work. She'd be like, "You'll see mommy in 3 more sleeps."
Yeah.
And now that's how we tell time.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's hilarious.
Yep.
Okay, Victoria. So one more time, where Victoria Glam on Instagram, is that pretty much universal across all social media?
Yeah,
Awesome.
Victoria.glam. If you just do Victoria Glam with no dot, you find some girl in Canada who gave up makeup 7 years ago.
Oh.
So Victoria.glam is me, and that's on every platform.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
So if you guys are watching this, give both of us a follow. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. This is super fun. Thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully we see you at some conferences this year.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
it sounds like we'll see each other at Biotech for sure.
No, we're not.
Oh, I thought you said
unfortunately.
you guys were going for sure.
No.
Well, PMU World.
PMU World, we will be there.
Yeah, we'll be there.
For sure.
We'll be there.
See you there.
Okay.
Awesome.
Bye, guys.
All right, you guys. I'll see you in
later.
DM. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.